Are you ready for love? Are you ready for action? Well, this week is divinely ordered to support you. It's go time. 2026 is an insane astrological year. We have a 1 in 6,000 year reset on February 20th to make the dream real, with Neptune and Saturn conjunct at the 0 degree of Aries, the creator degree, brand new start of a whole new cycle. This has not happened in over 6,000 years, since 4300 BC. We are literally building new Earth. That's what your soul came here to do. Let's get into it. This week is a mini reset to align and get that transformation started, with Venus and Mars Cazimis in Capricorn hitting big themes of purpose, passion, pleasure, and peace. For those who don't know me, my name is Grant. I'm your favorite quantum healer and hypnotherapist with a JD from the rotting heart of a dying empire, Harvard Law School. What I learned there is we are witnessing the death throes of the powers that were and their old systems. We incarnated here to build and embody new Earth, and this astrology, these portals, are how we do it. My assistant Meow says hello. He gets excited when I'm tapped into the field and speaking with y'all. We incarnated here to build and embody new Earth, and this astrology is how we do it. Big themes this week: passion and purpose. It meets and is balanced with pleasure and peace. First of all, what is a Cazimi? Cazimi is Old Arabic, and it means in the heart of the sun. So a Cazimi is when an orbiting body, such as Venus or Mars, is exactly conjunct the center of the sun. It is in the heart of the sun. It operates like a new moon, so it's planting the seeds for a brand new cycle. For Venus, that cycle is 1.5 years long, and for Mars, it's a 2-year cycle. But the next Cazimis for Venus and Mars won't be in Capricorn, so the fact that this is happening in Capricorn tells us where to set these goals in life. Let's start off with the Venus Cazimi today, as I'm recording this, January 6th. Venus is the planet of love, relationships, beauty, art, pleasure, and values. It is associated with feminine energy, while Mars is the masculine energy. We're getting some balance this week with both of these happening together. Capricorn Venus is the architect of these themes. You know, Venus can be very playful, whimsical, happy-go-lucky, go with the flow. Capricorn Venus has a planner. Capricorn Venus is scheduling time to make the art projects happen, to, journal on what kind of soulmate are we bringing in, what qualities do they have, that type of architecture, okay? And with the feminine energy, let's get this straight, because a lot of people think that it means social construct expectations of gender, man and woman. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about yin and yang. All things contain both. Balancing these energies is literally what ascension and enlightenment are. That's why you see that symbol of the two snakes weaving together, right? That's the masculine and feminine energy, both hemispheres of the brain, balancing in the nervous system, the spine, and rising energy up through the chakras to the crown, reuniting matter with source, matter as source, embodying your higher self. That's what it's all about. But what do these specific energies mean? Masculine energy is active, it is external. Feminine energy is internal, and it is receptive. So, an example, your masculine energy might say, I want to make $1 million. Your masculine energy will then work hard, build sales funnels, create ads, lead sales calls, all of those active parts of the process. But here's the thing: if you don't have that energy balanced with feminine energy, your ability to receive $1 million, your nervous system will not feel safe accepting $1 million. And therefore, you will not attract it because you do not intrinsically believe you are worth that much. That's why you have to have both parts, right? Another common example: let's say your masculine energy is allowing you to go to the gym regularly. That's awesome. But if you don't have the feminine energy aligned with it, if you're not nourishing your body with the foods and nutrients and rest you need, then you're not going to get results in your physical body. All things are both components, both principles of masculine and feminine energy. And with the two archetypal planets who represent these energies, Venus feminine energy, Mars masculine energy, having Cazimis this week and going conjunct together this week, it's all about that balance. That is why the Mars passion and purpose is meeting the Venus pleasure and peace. This is where the external desire meets and matches the internal belief that we can achieve that desire, that we can manifest that into our reality, receive it, accept it, and love it. So after we have this Venus Cazimi on January 6th, Venus is conjunct Mars on Wednesday, January 7th. Then Mars is Cazimi on Friday. What's interesting here is we have a Venus Cazimi on Tuesday. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. That's why in Spanish it's martes. While the Mars Cazimi is on Friday, the day ruled by Venus. That's why in Spanish it's viernes. So we have these lovers, these archetypal lovers, in each other's respective days when they are in the heart of the sun. And in between these two Cazimis, where they join with the sun, they're joining with each other. This really, to me, suggests balance. You know, when Mars is in the picture, there's always the potential for conflict, strife, aggression, war, right? But I'm not seeing that this week. The way this is so balanced and almost like respectful, like they're taking up space in each other's domains in such a healthy way. So Venus's values, it is guiding our masculine energy, which, you know, we all know about toxic masculinity. We are co-creating the new earth and experiencing the great unveiling, which is also the rise of the divine feminine. And what this means is this harmony is calling us to act from the divine masculine principle, not just chasing $1 million, but being guided and energized by your purpose. Is it really just about $1 million, or is it about creating a healing business that will change the world and change lives? It doesn't have to be that specific example, but whatever you are doing, whatever you are manifesting, how is it helping other people? How is it allowing you to live as your highest self and expression? How is it allowing you to embody your soul? That's what this Venus Cazimi and its values is reorienting the masculine Mars energy towards. Okay, we're not just acting, we're taking aligned action. That's why the purpose and passion of Mars is meeting and balancing the pleasure and peace of Venus. Especially key here is peace, and we'll come back to that because it's Mars. So then Mars Cazimi on Friday, January 9th. Very directly opposite Jupiter, which is really going to cause huge expansion. This is going to be a big day. We have people like Stefan Burns, geophysicist, talking about how there's potential here for really strong seismic activity just based on the astrology and what we've seen in the past. It's going to be perhaps an explosive day. What we also see this day is not only are Venus, Mars, and the Sun in Capricorn, we also have Mercury there. So we'll be getting downloads. This is an excellent time for communications, to take your aligned action and channel it into communication. Are you reaching out to funders? Are you following up with clients? That's the energy. But also Mercury being the higher self. That's why we're getting strong intuitive downloads this week. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Every orbiting body has a sign where it's exalted, naturally closest to source, and a sign where it has fallen, naturally under the heaviest delusions of separation from source. So Mars, even though it's one of the more challenging planets, along with Saturn, one of the malefics, it's in its exalted expression right now in Capricorn. So this is when Mars shows up as its higher self, when it's most powerful. On Saturday, January 3rd, we had a full moon in Cancer that was opposite Mars, and just based on what we saw happen on the world stage, you know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, particularly in the United States, taking action with other countries. We saw the duality play out of Mars, the planet of war, at its most powerful, with the duality of us reclaiming our inner agency and authority so that we can create a world where we don't do shit like that anymore. We came here to embody peace and end the obsolete systems of war. That's why peace is such an important theme this week with these Cazimis, because Mars has the potential and the tendency towards aggression. We've got Venus here to keep it in check. How do we use divine masculine energy for the highest good? How do we channel that energy to literally create peace on Earth? So your soul came here at this 1 in 6,000 year reset to close out karmic cycles of war and build the new Earth where those systems are obsolete. And let's tap into that divine feminine principle. As within, so without, one of the Hermetic principles. The microcosm is the macrocosm. So our internal state creates our external reality. We have to embody internal peace to create it externally, especially while the matrix illusions and old systems collapse and get louder in their death throes. The brighter the light gets, the darker the shadows. Darkness is coming to light to be released. Things that were happening all along that were dark and not for the best of humanity, that were in the subconscious, are now being brought up to the loud visible level, as we saw in the full moon, so that they are undeniable, so that we are forced to reckon with them. These subconscious themes that were happening all along become conscious, so that we have the ability to release them and choose to do other things with our energy. So as these systems are collapsing and engaging in, drama and spectacle and political theater, do not forget why you came here. Hold your peace. They are trying to put you in a fear-based, low vibrational state because that's when you're easy to control. But we are here to break out of that system altogether. So that's the forecast for this week. Here are some integration and journaling prompts you can use to plant the seeds and intentions of what you're manifesting for these brand new cycles, the 1.5 year cycle for Venus and the 2 year cycle for Mars. So first, look up your birth chart. If you know what time you were born, you can click the link in the description to create a free one. Look up what house Capricorn is in for you, because these Cazimis are both happening in Capricorn. So for example, if Capricorn is your second house of money, that's the area of life that's activated. You will be setting goals and intentions related to money and material possessions. Whereas, let's say Capricorn is your fourth house of the home and family, you'll be setting very different goals there. So look up the house that holds Capricorn in your chart, understand what that house represents, and set your goals tailored to that theme of life. Journaling prompts for the January 6th Venus Cazimi. What relationships do you want to have with your values, muses, relationships, and pleasure in the next year and a half? After you reflect on that, follow-up question: what's an aligned next step to get you there? Similar themes for the January 9th Mars Cazimi. What relationship do you want to have with acting on your values, passion, and purpose? How do you want to channel your drive in the next 2 years? What did your soul come here to do? What is your purpose? What fires you up in an empowered, loving, non-aggressive way? Same follow-up prompt: what's an aligned next step to get you there? So thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. If it resonated with you, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what goals and intentions you're setting with these Cazimis as quantum portals. Share this with a friend. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one in quantum coaching or hypnotherapy, my website's below. I also have my free school community platform. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to build New Earth with you. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.